We are back with another Epic Universe update. It's been many years since a new theme park has been built in the Orlando area, so it's very exciting to see. Construction on this park is going rapidly. Epic Universe is set to open in the summer of 2025. It will be Universal's third theme park. I know Universal likes to think of Volcano Bay as their third theme park, but I categorize it as a water park. Islands of Adventure was their last theme park, and that opened in 1999. Needless to say, it's exciting that Universal is finally adding a new park. And with how it's progressing, I'd say they're on track to meet that 2025 opening date. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another update. I'm getting close to reaching my first 1,000 subscribers, so it would really help out the channel if you subscribe. Now let's talk Epic Universe. Today we will start at the Super Nintendo World. To enter the Mushroom Kingdom, you will go through a warp pipe and up the escalators where you will come out on the top level in front of Princess Peach's castle. A few weeks ago they laid out some tiles in front of the castle, and now they are making their way around the upper level. Where it's darker will be the next area to get tiles. They've also added a lot of scaffolding to this building to add theming. On the upper level will be part of the Yoshi's Adventure ride, where you will go into the show building. And below it, I believe, will be the restrooms for the land. Now let's head over to the Jungle Kingdom, where they are hard at work creating the Donkey Kong Minecart Coaster. This will be a very unique ride, unlike anything we've seen so far. They've added railroad ties, and some of the track has more than others. This is a fake track. The real track is a sideways one. The track appears to end in certain sections, so this will make it feel like the cart is jumping over the broken sections. Some new theming has been added to the side wall. Last update they had added green boards to it. Now it's been covered with new theming. It kind of looks like a big giant door. Next to it you can see they've started painting this area gray. This is surrounding the hole where we will go into enter the show building. Over here we can see more green boards, which could mean this will soon be themed as well. But that wall is not the only new area to be themed. We can see also new paint and theming has been added next to the roller coaster. Next, let's go explore the How to Train Your Dragon land. Out of all the lands, this seems to have the most finished elements in it. We have the 2 statues in the bay that have been finished, plus the boats behind it. Then we have the most recent attraction to be added, the Skyfly attraction. This will be one of 3 rides in the land. It didn't take long for them to finish installing everything. It looks just about finished. The arms of the Skyfly attraction must have been painted and themed off-site. Once the arms were installed, they added a blue dragon to one of the counterweights and a red dragon to the other Skyfly attraction. The details look amazing. The red dragon looks like it's the dragon species called the Monstrous Nightmare, which is a more common species of dragon. It's seen in the movie written by Snoutlout. And the dragon's name is Hookfang. The blue dragon is the Deadly Natter. It has spikes on its head and tail. In the movie, Astrid's dragon was a Deadly Natter, and it was named Stormfly. Another fun detail about these 2 dragons is that both have been painted with the same designs as seen in the movie when they're playing the dragon racing game. Here's some concept art I found online for this ride, although since Universal has yet to confirm the How to Train Your Dragon land, it's unofficial concept art. But here you can see the name of the attraction, Dragon Racers Rally. That name was trademarked back in March of this year. We can also see the same painted design on the arms of the attraction as what has been installed. There looks to be some stands in the background as well, with theming around the queue. All from the game they played in the second movie, where the dragons would pick up the sheep and toss them into the designated areas to score points. What appears to be rockwork can be seen at the building next to Great Hall. This is believed to be a candy shop, possibly called How to Treat Your Dragon. Also at the entrance, we can see a frame around it similar to the style seen in the movies at the Isle of Berk. This is the same shape as seen at the retail shop across from it, which has continued to receive more work on the outside. These are the same style of frames that have been spotted over at the load station for the roller coaster. They have a few laid out on the ground. Here's another piece of unofficial concept art. We can see from the construction so far that at least some of the buildings will have the same shape as seen at the retail shop. If you watch the movie and look at the Isle of Berk, this design is straight from their village. The concept art shows the roller coaster in the background. The train cars kind of look like a dragon, but looking at the surroundings, there's lots of trees and some rock work. If this is what we can expect, it's going to look really good and highly immersive. The load station for the family roller coaster has finished placing the wood on the roof, and it looks really nice. The first launch coaster is right next to it, but it really hasn't changed for the last few months. So far the focus has been on the load station and theming the second launch, which continues to get more rock work and scrim around it, so it should be getting some paint. Next to it is the kids area. It continues to see lots of progress. There's a lot of mesh around the back of the play area. In the concept art, it looks like this will be painted green and gray to give it a stony look with some mossy looking stuff around it, just like what can be seen on some of the other rocks around the land. The concept art also shows what looks like some bridges that connect to different parts of the play area. It could be similar to the bridges at Camp Jurassic at Universal's Island of Adventure. Over at the third attraction of the land, they have begun to do work on the load station. It had stayed the same for quite a while, but now more is being done. This is the Splash Battle attraction, rumored to be built by Muck Rides. There are a few of these around the world. The closest is the one in Legoland, Florida. There's lots of work still being done on the walls of the attraction. And next to the ride, they have finished installing the third bridge in the How to Train Your Dragon Land. In the last update, they had just begun placing the bridge. Now let's head over to the Dark Universe. This will be the land based off of Universal's classic monsters. It'll be amazing to finally have a whole land for these classic characters. It's been long overdue. If we take a look at the restaurant, the most recent work has been to theme the stony wall around this section, which could be the outdoor dining for the restaurant. A partial wall is covering part of this area, and because of the black lining around it, it probably will be filled with dirt. Theming samples can be seen off to the side of the restaurant as well. At the number 5 behind the manor, there's new foundation work being done. And at the number 4, this is the area believed to be a food stand. At the spinning roller coaster, rumored to be based on the werewolf, there's a lot of work going on the ground. A small structure has been added. If the queue is outside, then maybe this is just for some theming elements in the queue. Over at the restaurant and retail shop, some walls look like they will soon receive some theming. These will be the first buildings you see as you enter the village. The main attraction for the land is rumored to be a Kuka Arm style attraction like the Forbidden Journey. The steel frames around the outside has started to be covered, and now we can start to see the style of the manor become more defined. It looks like a window frame has taken shape, and the outside has that old stone look to it. In front of the retail shop, a steel frame has been added that looks like the ones at the entrance of the village. It could be themed as another broken wall, just like the one in the front of the land. Maybe it's a broken gate to the entrance of the manor, but that might be too far away to be that. Now for the last land, let's look at the Wizarding World themed to be the streets of Paris. This area feels a lot more like Diagon Alley than Hogsmeade, which makes sense since it's themed to Place Cachée, which is basically Paris's version of Diagon Alley. It's a place for witches and wizards to buy all their magical stuff. The entrance to the land has a Porte Saint-Denis, which now has some green coverings over the front of it. For the last few months, they've been working to finish it. I do wonder how they will design the space between the portal and the arch. At the moment, not much has been done with it, and there's quite a bit of space between them to work with. They continue to work on the facades of this land. There's scaffolding everywhere. We now have green boards covering the outer frames of the Wizarding World. The courtyard is also seeing more work. They have been covering the steel that creates the classic French-style roof. This land is rumored to open with just one attraction and a theater show. The ride is an indoor attraction believed to be based on the British Ministry of Magic. At first it was rumored to be a possible elevator-style attraction using a new patent that would allow the vehicle to move in multiple directions, but the latest rumor is that it could be more like the Scoop ride vehicle used at the Amazing Spider-Man ride. But this version will be a little different. It'll move a little differently than the suspended ride system, but will still give the rider a feel like they're in an elevator but going up and down and forwards and backwards and sideways. While I was searching for patents, I came across another one filed by Universal. It's a ride with a rotating lift. It's a tower with shafts that look very interesting. Universal files patents all the time that don't ever get used in the parks, so this might not ever get used at all. But I just thought it would be fun to show y'all and see what you think. This is a ride system where rooms are stacked on top of one another. It's a method for transporting the ride vehicles from one room to the next room. The tower looks like an elevator to me, but what do you think? If they did use this ride system inside Epic Universe, the Ministry Magic is the only one I can think of that it would work with. There's only a few dark rides in Epic Universe, and we already know what the Mario Kart ride is, and the other dark ride is the Dark Universe, which is rumored to be a Kuka Arm ride system. So it wouldn't be that either. Here is a very brief look inside the building for the attraction that someone posted from Twitter. Now let's take a look at the front of the park where there's plenty of progress. Steel is being placed at the security and admission area to get into the park, and a building is rapidly coming together behind that. This could be restrooms for the outside of the park. More arches have been created to make that classic Universal arch. The other side is finally seeing some progress too. Soon we'll see arches on both sides. Work continues to extend out the structure at the entrance. This could be where food and retail shops will be, just like at the port of entry in Islands of Adventure. The octagonal restaurant has some pipes that have been recently added to the front of it, plus more around the water feature, which has been getting some work done on the floor of it. Workers can be seen preparing the floor. In the most recent photo, Scrim now covers the restaurant so we can no longer see inside it. The main attraction for the central hub will be a dual racing coaster believed to be called Starfall Racers. Landscaping for this coaster is coming along nicely. Even more grass and trees have been added since the last update. The front of the dual racing coaster now has some more concrete forms being added on the ground. Over near the entrance to Dark Universe, there are two snack stands. Something copper has been added to one of its roofs, although the other snack stand next to it hasn't changed yet. In between two of the water features will be a walkway. We can now see the start of concrete for the middle portion of the pathway. It's circular, and when we look at the concept art, it shows how it will look when it's all done. It looks like there might be a fountain or maybe a splash pad in the middle with benches around it. Behind the in-park hotel, there's a peninsula. It's believed that this could be where they will light off the fireworks for an epic, pun intended, nighttime show. It will be great to see Universal finally having a nighttime show that might just rival Disney's Magic Kingdoms. At least I hope Universal is thinking big for their nighttime epic spectacular. Epic Universe is also building two resorts outside of the park, one named Stella Nova Resort and the other Terra Luna Resort. On our last update, workers had just begun placing the color transitioning tiles, but here's how it looks now. Now that more has been added, it appears there will be different color schemes. It starts with reds and oranges, and then part of it has more greens and blues. It'll be very interesting to see the finished product. Over the lobby, there's a teardrop-shaped covering, and the entrance is surrounded by these curved walls that might also get some of those colorful blocks added to it. Well, that wraps it up for all the updates. Thanks once again to BioReconstruct for all the great photos of Epic Universe. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We talk about all things Universal theme parks on this channel. And I'll see you in the next one.